One time my boyfriend came over and we decided to do the dirty. Anyways, it was great, but his phone was in his pocket when he did it and he accidentally somehow but dialed 911. We were getting down and dirty and everything was going swell until we heard knocks on the door very aggressively. We thought it was the dog making noise outside the door until we heard a man yelling to open the door. We both got dressed really fast, went outside, and saw it was the police. I was scared because I thought they found out that I stole a bathing suit from Target, so I started sobbing. Then they asked what was wrong and I couldn't stop crying, so my boyfriend asked why they were here, and they explained they got a 911 call and heard yelling on the phone. I immediately stopped crying and ran inside the house of embarrassment, and my boyfriend just said everything was fine, then closed the door. Right after he closed the door, he heard laughing from the police, and now we know that they found out we were having sex. Once my teacher was pregnant and 2 months before her due date she went into labor in the middle of class, so we were all rushed into the hallway, but they couldn't get her out of the classroom, so she ended up having her baby in the classroom, but since it was premature it was weak and they weren't at a hospital, so it died in the classroom, and we all saw the dead tiny baby being carried out of the classroom, and my teacher was so sad her baby died that she quit her job, and a month later we went into lockdown because turns out she broke into the school with a knife and tried stabbing people cause she sorta went insane with the grief of her baby dying, and now she's in jail. Girl, what in the shitty tit flip switch? When I was 8 years old, my parents separated and I was staying with my aunt for the summer. One day my dad picked me up and told me he was taking me home because they made up. He told me that we were going to move to a house next to my aunt. Anyways, on the ride I begged him to drive me to the mall to buy a video game and he agreed. On the way he said he wasn't feeling very good, and then a car came out of nowhere and crashed into us. To make a long story short, my dad literally died in the front seat and I only had a few cuts. My mother stopped the move and was obviously devastated and cried every night for 6 months. The only reason she stopped is because she died too. Back when I was in 3rd grade, I thought you got pregnant when someone kisses you. So I would always refuse to let any of my family members kiss me in fear of that. One day my grandpa surprised kissed me on the cheek and I freaked out and started crying. I went to school the next day telling everyone that I was pregnant by my grandpa. When I got home I went to my kitchen and grabbed a knife and stuck it up my coochie to try to kill the baby. It hurt so fucking bad, like I can't even describe the pain. Blood was everywhere and I was screaming, so my mom rushed in and saw a knife sticking out of my cooch. She rushed me to the hospital and I had to go into an emergency surgery, and now I can't have kids.
One day I was in about 4th or 3rd grade and my mom let me stay at my childhood friend's house, and she had 2 brothers. So she had fell asleep and I wasn't tired, and so I tried to fall asleep. Then her oldest brother came and he was in high school. I pretend to be asleep. I found it weird that he came in there. Then he started walking towards me and he whispers and asks if I'm awake, and I don't say anything because I'm creeped out and just want him to leave. So then I turn my back against him to try and scare him away, and he lifts my hair up on my pillow and starts kissing on my neck. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know what to do and I really wanted her to wake up, but she was a heavy sleeper and everyone else in the house was asleep. Then I'm like, okay, this is weird, so I fake woke up and he looks at me in the weirdest smile and tells me I'm beautiful. I tell him please leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep, so he left the room and I wanted to cry because that was so weird. This is not the first time he's done some weird shit like that.
When I was in 7th grade I got into an argument with my teacher and everyone thought I was big and bad, and so did I. A few days later this new girl transferred to our school and we had 3 classes together, and she accidentally stepped on my shoe, so I would always make faces at her and stare her down. Every time I seen her she ignored me, until one day I told a rumor that her cooter smelled like old milk and she told everyone she was going to fight me, and I thought she was just talking until she walked up to me while I was waiting for my ride outside and asked did I want to fight. I didn't want to seem like a punk bitch, so I said yeah. Next thing I know she punched me straight in my face, and before I can even swing back she started rocking my shit. All I knew how to do was pull hair. I only got 2 hits in this strong as bitch Mortal Kombat my shit. Some teacher broke us up and after that I was like, you want some more? And I was praying she didn't say yes cause I couldn't take any more. If this one time when I was little I thought I could talk to trees because I had no friends, and I used to sit by them and say things, and one day I was talking to my tree friend called Kevin, and this girl went up to me and said, are you talking to that tree freak? And I started crying and hugged onto the tree, and while she was laughing one of the branches fell on the girl's head. Thanks Kevin. This is my personal story. I went on a date with this boy this summer. It was going really well and I was so excited. He took me to play mini golf. He started standing weird as hell, so I was like, the fuck? Are you okay? He said that he couldn't help it and that he was sorry. I realized his rat was showing. I laughed awkwardly and he said that I caused it. I literally was just playing this game. What the fuck do you mean I caused it? He took me to his house and we were sitting there. He whipped out his ugly ass rat. I looked and threw up a little in my mouth. He asked me to give him that got combo 3000. Bitch, get your Chuck E. Cheese hairy rat looking thing away from me before I grab scissors. I can't believe it looked like that. Why was it curved to the left? Bitch, the fuck is that ugly ass shit? Suck it yourself. I said no, but he kept persisting. He got really creepy, so I literally ran from him. I turned into Usain Bolt. I said, you wanna see some real speed, bitch? I'll show you some real speed. I got lost in his big ass house, but I eventually made it out. Mans was packing. I can't lie, but I was so disturbed. He just asked me to hang out again. I will not hang out with a man who is turned on from a girl literally just playing golf. The fuck? Go watch Tiger Woods then if you like golf that much, you weird ass boy. No wonder his ex left him. I now identify as lesbian. Like seriously.
My middle school was filled with fucking annoying ass fake ass bitches. This one time in 8th grade, I got up to use the bathroom while we were taking a test. At the time, I had this fake ass bitch asshole ass dumb ass big fucking ears ass flat ass friend. We had the same crush and she secretly hated me for it. After I came back into the class from the bathroom, I was chewing some gum, and my crush was sitting behind me. I got up from my seat to throw out my gum wrapper. Little did I know the bitch asshole wanted to get back at me for coming for her man. When I got up from my chair, my crush started laughing and said, she shit her pants, in front of the whole class. Keep in mind it was quiet. Every head started laughing. I looked at my seat and there was a chunk of chocolate bar on my chair. I looked at the fake asshole and I instantly knew what she did. She was laughing too. I was so embarrassed. The fucking raggedy ass old ass history teacher sent me to the nurse. Bitch. But that's not where the story ends, hoes. I knew where that ugly hoe Michaela lived. Yeah, I'm exposing her ass. After school I popped out at her house and her mom let me inside. When she came home from soccer practice, her bed was filled with roaches. 'Cause that's what she is. A fucking dumbass roach.
In 10th grade during lunch, the mean popular girl started to walk up to me and my friends and grabbed my muffin and threw it in my face to impress the new kid. I went off on that dumb bitch because I wanted to eat the motherfucking muffin. I dragged that bitch across the lunchroom and we fought and I accidentally broke her nose. Haha, dumb bitch, that's what you get for wasting my fucking muffin. And I dated the new kid, so who's the bad bitch now? Brittany. Period. Sis, go off. Hey guys, story time. When I was in kindergarten, I was on the bus sitting next to this mean ass bitch. I don't remember her name. There was a girl behind us and she kept saying her stomach hurted and that she needed to poop. So me and the girl I was sitting next to, we straight ignored that bitch. So time flew by on the bus, and then I start smelling shit. Like literally disgusting, smelling like dog shit ass poop. So I look under the seat and I see this big ass pile of diarrhea poop. That shit stunk. I couldn't help myself and I kept looking under the seat to look at the poop. The girl next to me kept telling me to stop looking at it. Like, bitch, if you don't shut yo skin tone chicken bone Google Chrome no home flip phone disowned ice cream cone garden gnome extra chromosome metronome dimidome genome full blown monochrome student loan Indiana Jones overgrown Flintstone X and Y hormone friend zoned Sylvester Stallone Sierra Leone AutoZone professionally seen silver patron head ass the fuck up, I'll beat your ass. Eventually someone came on the bus and picked up the poop. Okay, so a couple years back my teenage sister was pregnant. Nobody knew at the time, not even her. And so one day I was in my room just hanging out, and I heard a really loud scream coming from my sister's room. Naturally me and my family went upstairs to go check on her to make sure she's okay, and me and my mom walked into my sister's room, and there was blood all over her sheets, and my sister had, I wanna keep it family friendly so let's just say toy. Anyway, there was a bloody toy in her hand and she kept screaming. Like it was a lot of blood. My mom took her to the hospital cause she didn't know what else to do, and it turns out she accidentally gave herself an abortion with a toy.
Back then I used to be very nice, and I would always add people back on Snapchat until one time out of nowhere I received a snap from Bob John. Let's just say he was old. SMH. Bob John decided to ask my 7-year-old self for a picture of my tits. I obviously had none because I was young. To be honest, I had no idea what tits were back then, so I got up and asked my older sister what the heck tits were. She pointed to her chest, still leaving me in confusion. I asked again and she described them as balls on your chest. So my dumb self went to go grab 2 balls from my ball pit and put them in my shirt and snapped him back. I know you're probably wondering why the fuck a 7-year-old had Snapchat, and let me tell ya, it wasn't my Snapchat, it was my mom's. Haha. He snapped back asking if I wanted to see something I could suck on. I obviously said sure, but before you get mad at my past young self for saying sure, I thought he was talking about a sucker. Moving on, Bob John sent me some weird hairy thing with two sagging looking almost circle-shaped balls by it. I looked deep into its soul wondering what the fuck it was. Suddenly my dad walked in with a bowl of pineapple and watermelon with tagine. I set my mom's phone down and looked up smiling reaching for my fruit bowl. He looked at the phone and saw the picture. He said a bunch of swear words in Spanish and asked me what the fuck I was doing. I said I'm snapping back with Bob John. He looked at me as if I did something wrong. He then asked who the fuck.
During the summer I was in a relationship with a kid named Jason. Things got carried away the first few weeks when his dad called my phone and asked me to come over and help him finish up his pool. Once I arrived at his house, his dad welcomed me into the house but then told me Jason wasn't there. I was confused but decided to wait until Jason came home. His dad welcomed me to food, TV, etc. His dad is smoking hot, so I did whatever I had to make him comfortable with me. Turns out he was more than comfortable with me. He called me up the room a few hours later and told me to be very quiet. I realized what was about to happen but I didn't care. I wanted him. He stripped me down to my kitty jar and I was so horny. A few weeks later I had to break up with Jason because I took a pregnancy test and it tested positive. In a few weeks I have to go check who the father is because if it's his dad's I'm moving to fucking Texas.